Yo, 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 what is going on, YouTube? How's everybody doing today? It is the real Kale. Welcome back. I am back. I came under it with a little bit of a stomach virus over the weekend, so I needed to take the day off yesterday. I wanted to drop this video yesterday, but it's gonna be worth the wait, y'all. I know y'all been waiting for this tier list ever since the patch that came out early August, and damn, a lot has changed in this game, but a lot has also stayed the same for the most part. So, man, this is crazy. So, before we get into the tier list, I just want to go over like a few things. So, number one, this is my opinion, okay? My opinion. Let me exaggerate that for those of you. Let me explain that for those of you who don't understand what that means, what opinion means. Meaning that it is neither fact or fiction. You cannot approve of it, you cannot prove it, or disprove it. It is what I think, right? So if you're getting butthurt that I overrated this character, or I underrated this character, or you think this character belongs here, you can disagree. I don't care. I know for a fact people are going to disagree with my tier list. I know for a fact people are going to disagree with my tier list. Because this tier list, this game, is so balanced right now that I'm seeing all kinds of different tier lists in Mortal Kombat 11. All kinds. Right now. So that brings me to my number two thing that I want to stress. Mortal Kombat 11 in its current state is a very balanced fighting game. And I know some of y'all asking me like, what are you talking about? Look at this character. Look at Liu Kang. Look at Sonya. Look at Aaron Black. Look at Jax. Look at Jackie. Hell yeah, there's strong fucking characters in this game. But y'all don't understand how many strong characters are in this game. Almost all, I would say the entire roster is viable. There's about 4 characters in this game that I can't see winning the tournament. But I wouldn't be surprised if somebody was able to win the tournament if they found out something. Or these characters are just like, they need like 1 or 2 things to get buffed, and they'll go up the tier list dramatically, and they'll just change up the entire game, or even become top 10. That's how balanced this game is right now. A simple buff or a simple nerf can literally alter the entire game, and that's what's happened in MK11 right now. And just the final thing, I'm basing this tier list off of tournament play. So after the patch, we've seen 2 majors. We've seen Celtic Throwdown, and we've seen DreamHack Montreal. And we're basing this off of Combat League and a little bit of casual play too. So without further ado, let's jump right into this tier list. So boom. Y'all see it on your screen right now. Y'all see it on your screen. Take a gander. This is my tier list. So like I said, this is a very balanced fighting game. I don't have anything past B in this. I added a B minus. You don't really see a B minus just because I wanted to make a little bit of a point with some of the characters in this game. Just to pretty much illustrate that there is a disparity. There is a gap between some of these characters. So for the most part, the tier list is ordered from left to right and top to bottom, with the strongest at the left, the weakest at the right, and strongest at the top, and last, the bottom is the weakest. So let's start with the best in the game. Now, I've given it a lot of fucking thought, y'all. I've given it so much thought. If you'd ask me tomorrow, if you'd ask me probably the next hour, I'll probably give you a different answer. I have a very hard time deciding who is the best character in this game, but I know for a fact it is not Liu Kang. I know for a fact it's between Sonya and Garrus, for sure. On this tier list right now, you're seeing Sonya, because I think Sonya right now is actually broken. Sonya did not get fucking nerfed last patch. She didn't get shit, guys. The whole thing that makes her overpowered is the fact that she has true 50-50 mix-ups that could lead to 30% damage combos. And she has zoning. Her zoning is stupid oppressive. I don't know why they didn't touch her projectiles last patch. That was honestly the only thing we really wanted from Sonya. Even if her damage didn't get scaled, we needed her her projectiles to be nerfed. There's no reason for this character to be throwing out such fast projectiles and dealing so much damage. That the mix-up crushing blow that she has, if she lands that leg sweep by itself, does doing like 300 damage, is stupid. There's a reason why they took that thing away from Cabal. They changed that requirement from the beta. I don't know why she still has that. The pushback on some of her moves is ridiculous, making it hard to punish her. Her combo damage is ridiculous. She gets 35% meterless, so she literally only has to spend bar not to extend combos, but to just zone you out, and she's just ridiculous. She's not playing MK11. She's playing a combination of Injustice 2 and MKX. So I think Sonya is the best character in the game right now. I think Sonya is broken. She definitely needs another nerf, and I think people are letting her fall under the radar again, and I'm kind of sad about that, because this character is probably not going to get any changes next patch, and she's still going to dominate the game. Which is funny because there aren't really many Sonya players online, but the ones that I fought, I feel like it's 50-50. The ones that I fought literally just zone with her, do nothing but zone with her now. So like Sonya players just do more zoning now, just because they took away her her launcher, one of her launchers. They took away her main launcher, but then there's some players who still stick with her, but I could body them easily, just because, you know, I could react to some of her mix-ups. I could guess right sometimes. But other than that, I think Sonya is the best character in the game. So second best, I'm gonna go with Garrus. So if we had to rate the characters on a scale out of 100, I would say Garrus is like, if Sonya is like a 98, Garrus is like a 97, 96. Garrus is ridiculous. I feel like this character is brain dead. Like, the MKX string that he has, forward 212, literally -3. He got pretty much buffed last patch because, yes, they changed the requirement of the crushing blow, but now you can use it to end combos. So it makes him, he has like 40% damage BNBs now. I feel like this character has went through a weird life cycle in the game, because when he first came out, people said he was the best. Then people figured out how to deal with something. Then they was like, oh, he's not even top 10 anymore. Then they figured something out again with how to charge your gauntlet and then keep like unbreakable damage, and then he's top 3 again. And then, oh, we figured out how to deal with it. No, this character is top 5, and honestly, guys, I don't think this character is not going to be in the top 10 anywhere in this game. Just based off his toolkit, he has 2 really good variations now. They took away the gap out of the forward 212 string. He has a fucking 6-frame down 1. His throw loops are insane. He gets crazy damage. This character is ridiculous. He can get plus frames. He can stagger the shit out of you. And Garrus is ridiculous, yo. Alright, so now number 3, I'm going with Cetrion. Cetrion is, this character is bullshit, y'all. Like, there's really not much to like say about Cetrion. The character is frustrating to fight. Full screen frame traps that she has, they like buffed and nerfed her at the same time, but she's pretty much the same. But even her zoning is like ridiculously oppressive. Her buttons up close are godlike. So the meta of MK11 right now is like mids, staggers, pokes, grabs, and Cetrion can stagger the fuck out of you with her strings and keep you guessing. Like, she can you don't want to jump in on her. Her anti-airs are godlike, and she can convert. It's not big damage, but it's damage that would definitely add up on top of the chip damage you're bound to take from projectiles, and just her overall combo damage that you're just gonna take. This character is ridiculous. She has ridiculous zoning. Like, there's so many characters in this game that cannot deal with her, and pro players have to counterpick when they play Cetrion, just because she has such a playstyle that you don't want to deal with at all. So if you're able to fight Cetrion and you have like your main, obviously there's some characters like that beat her, like Scorpion. I think even Eren can contend with her, but yeah, if you're playing someone like Sub-Zero or Johnny Cage, you're gonna have a horrible time against Cetrion, and you need to have a counter pick, and that's about it. So we're talking about the man of the game, the most talked about character in the game right now, Liu Kang. Liu Kang is, a lot of people are saying he's the best. In my opinion, he is not the best. I have him top 5. So like I said, the meta of MK11 right now is pokes, stagger strings, pressure, grabs, and mids, right? Liu Kang has the best mid in the game. 9 frames, double hitting, starts up his pressure, option select, can stagger it, can cancel it, can go for different mix-ups, can go for plus frames. Beautiful. On top of that, amazing zoning with his fireballs. Amazing zoning. The chip damage on his fireballs is insane. And the fact that he's not a meter hungry character, there is no reason for you not to use the meter on his fireballs. His fireballs, literally you just have to save your meter just for his fireballs and you're good. Like, that's a lot of Liu Kang players do that, and this character will keep you guessing all day, all fucking day. You have to lab this character up to learn how to fight him, and I showed you guys how to deal with him. He's not that hard to deal with him, and that's why I have him number 4 and not number 1 like a lot of people are saying. Number 4, because I feel like he has there's a lot of counterplay. Like, he's just straight up mind games. He's a straight up karate master. He gets in your head and you have to get in his head. So there's so many different ways to beat Liu Kang and counter literally everything he does. It's just that you have to make the right read, and that's why I put him at number 4. I don't think he has any bad matchups in the game. I think he can actually hold his own against Sonya and Garrus, to be honest. And to be honest, I think he can do pretty well against Cetrion too. So I think he's number 4, honestly, because his pressure, his staggers, his buttons are ridiculous. He's super easy to play, pretty much brain dead if you ask me, but I don't really care about that. He's definitely top 5, and I'm not going to downplay that. I don't think he's the best. I think he's top number 4. So number 5, I'm not going to downplay my character. Jackie's number 5, bro. The meta. She's the meta. She has the meta. She has amazing staggers with her forward 3. Amazing pressure. The best rush down character in the game. Her combo damage got nerfed a bit, and I've seen some people put her S-. I think that's fair too, but I think she just plays the meta very well. Great grabs, great pressure. Unfortunately, she does get zoned out pretty heavily, but I think she just fits this meta very well. If she's in your face, she's deadly. And her game plan has not changed at all. Her pressure has not changed. She just can't get tremendous Oki off of her kicks, her double knees in the clinch, and the player has to trade hit advantage for damage now. So I think that's balanced. So Jackie, still top 5, but I think she's pretty balanced. She's in a good spot right now. So moving on to S-. So S is the best characters in the game. I think that's the top 5 in the game right now in MK11. Right? You could probably interchange a few of them, but then now we're going on to the bottom 5 of the top 10. So S-, I'm going with Cassie. Oops, sorry about that, guys. That's my TV next to me. So Cassie is a very she's very good. She plays neutral extremely well. Her nerf, she can't really stagger you as well with her forward 4 anymore, so you can like poke out of that and take your turn back. You can flawless block her flying kick, so that she can't just have a get out of the jail free card. But online, that nerf virtually means nothing because nobody's doing that online. So that's why I'm keeping her S-. Her zoning is still really good. Her projectiles are really good. She's a very safe character. I don't think this character is moving anywhere from the top 10 with her toolkit. She's good. Now Jax, I had to think about this pretty hard. I was thinking about putting Jax S, So there would have been 6 characters at S minus. So Jax right now, I think Jax is the best comeback character in MK11, and I think the tier list that I had before, I put him in. I know I put him in S minus that I had before, and he didn't really get any changes. So he stays the same, honestly. I think this character is gonna, if when Liu Kang gets nerfed, and he definitely is, people are talking about him too much. When Liu Kang gets nerfed, Jax is gonna be the character that people are gonna complain about, because he actually has mix-ups unlike Liu Kang, and they're not reactable. You just have to guess. You can't react to his mix-ups. So I think Jax is in that top 10. His comeback potential is ridiculous. Hits a fatal blow, then he has the option of going for the forward throw crushing blow, the command grab crushing blow, the overhead crushing blow, the he can down to you, the other charge overhead crushing blow. He's ridiculous, y'all. Jax is pretty stupid, honestly. Eren, so Eren, like, I have to be, y'all don't hear me complain about this character anymore, and you guys know why, because they took away the Scud shot. The Scud shot is not brain dead anymore. Scud shot, there is a trade-off to it. Now if you use Scud shot without amplifying it for the actual part where he shoots his gun, he's unsafe. You can full combo punish him after that. You just have to like react to it, and I think Eren is actually in a pretty damn good spot right now. I think he's one of the more balanced characters. He's stupid good. He's super strong, but I'm not gonna complain about him anymore. I think he's not overpowered anymore. Definitely not. I think he's just fine. I think that's all they need to do. Nerf Scud shot, and he's good now. Cabal, same thing. Literally no changes in the patch, so he pretty much stays exactly where he is, S minus. I think he's a character not a lot of people are talking about. I lose to Cabal so much, guys. Like, this character is so good, and I know, like, he doesn't do anything like that special. I know he has to commit very hard to a lot of things, but I feel like his tool set is just very good. His only weakness is the fact that he doesn't have like a lot of damage, but when you mix his crushing blows, he has to spend a lot of resources for damage. That's like the biggest weakness for him. And I think a thing that people are not talking about with Cabal is how good his zoning actually is. Like, his projectiles are ridiculous, y'all. His air projectiles, his forward projectiles, doing instant air projectiles is pretty damn good with this character. It's pretty oppressive and borderline safe, honestly. So I have to put him S minus. I think he's very good. I'm surprised he didn't get nerfed or any changes in the patch. And if he gets a buff, I think he's gonna be easily like top 5, honestly. And so the first DLC character that I'm actually ranking, so I put Nightwolf S minus. I had to think about this very long and hard because I don't have much to go off of for Nightwolf. This is my educated prediction. I think he belongs S minus. I think he is S minus. We haven't seen any tournament gameplay for him yet. I've seen some of the pros play with him. I've seen Sonic Fox play with him. I've seen like Scar. I've seen Honeybee play with Nightwolf and all that. But I think this character, Nightwolf, is very similar to like Cabal and Cassie. Honestly, he has like his 1-1-1 combo string is a great auto shimmy. It's a great stagger. He has great mind games with his throw loop is pretty good with his forward throw. He has very good damage. He has to spend resources, but just pretty good consistent damage. Like, if you spend a bar with him, you're doing high 20%. If you spend 2 bars with him, you're doing damn near 40%. So I think it's pretty worth it. His crushing blows are really good as well, and his stagger strings are just godlike. I think we're gonna see a lot of Nightwolf in tournament, and the fact that he has so many useful mids, I think like he fits the meta. Staggers, pokes, his down 1 and down 3 are good. His grabs are good. He has crushing blow grabs forward and backwards. He has a good. He's a jack of all trades character, but he doesn't really excel at anything though. So that's why I was kind of thinking he's probably A+, but it's better to overrate a character than underrate a character in my opinion. So I don't know. I think he's very good. He plays this game very good because he has so many good mids. Having an overhead in this game that you can combo off of is very, very fucking strong, and it's one of his most damaging ways to get combos. So I think that's very strong. So Nightwolf, I think you're S-, my friend. All right, so now we're moving on to A+. So A+, I would say A+ is probably like the, you know, high tier. I would say this is definitely high tier, but like more pretty much like the point of balance in my opinion. S-, A+ is pretty much like the point of balance. So S-, I would say is like if these characters got buffed in any way, they'd be broken. And then A+ is like these characters don't need any changes whatsoever. So Baraka, literally no changes last patch. The only thing Baraka does is he just rips your health bar in half. That's it. He just chunks your health bar damage. Other than that, opening someone up with Baraka can be challenging because his staggers they're good, but they're not as good as the people above him, and it could be a bit of a challenge opening people up with Baraka. And he has short range. He has short range as some of his normals, but the normals that combo have short range, so you kind of have to play good neutral. And his projectile is really good, so I think he's definitely A+, possibly S-, to be honest. But I think he does lack a bit of things like that the people above him do. So I was like, yo, I'm putting him at top of A+. And Sub-Zero, literally no changes again last patch. Fantastic character. This character is pretty stupid online, to be honest. His reacting to that overhead online is, especially with some people's connection, is just downright ridiculous. It's unfair. The overhead low mix up, the vortexes. He's a very good character. I think Sub-Zero is actually one of the most balanced characters in the game right now. So there's not much to say about him. He's a strong character. Noob Saibot, I don't remember where I had him last on my tier list. I think I probably had him in the same spot, but the seeing double variation is fucking scary now. This character will delete your health bar, but the worst part is, unlike Baraka, you know when your health bar is getting deleted. Noob Saibot, you won't even know all your health is gone because this man has projectiles that do 12% damage. Like, Noob Saibot is actually a really good zoning character now. A really good space control zoning character, and he can keep himself safe a lot of the time because of the seeing double variation. He can get the Shadow Clone crushing blow pretty easily now. So he does a lot of damage. His neutral is pretty good. I would say he's kind of a technical character to play, but you could play super lane with Noob Saibot now and you could just truck your health. Oh yeah, his down 4 is probably the best anti-air in the game right now too, that you can convert into a full combo. So Shang Tsung. So on the last tier list video that I did, he wasn't on the tier list maker that I used, but I said he was S- just because this character had ridiculous zoning and godlike damage. Honestly, if some of the characters weren't the way they were before, he could have been easily top 5 in my opinion, because his damage for the zoning he had was stupid. And it's a shame because it's just a shame that no one plays this character anymore after the nerfs because they don't get brain dead damage anymore. This character is still really good. His down 3 is amazing. Beautiful buttons. Forward 2, forward 2, back 1, down 2, back 1, 1, 2, like godlike buttons. Back 3, down 4, godlike strings, honestly. And that ground spark move, even though you get less combo damage from it, it's still an amazing zoning tool. Anti-air, pressure tool. It keeps you. It's hard to punish. It's hard to punish that move. That move is very has very specific punishes, and it's just godlike. Shang Tsung, I don't think a lot of people are playing it with him, so I think this character is vastly slept on despite the nerfs. I think people just want brain dead damage. But Jade, so y'all know how I feel about this fucking character. I still to this day think this character is bullshit, but if I would love to put this character higher on the tier list just so I could just rant and complain about this character all day and get her fucking nerfed. But I have to be objective. Jade is definitely A+. She is super fucking good. She's solid. I don't understand why people want this character buffed. I think this character doesn't need a buff. This character needs to be changed. Her design is terrible. She has a ridiculously annoying playstyle where a lot of players just don't want to put up with her shit. They just counterpick her and just not want to deal with it. Jade players just her best down 2 in the game, one of the best down 4s, oppressive projectiles that can mix you up. She has mix, like actual mix, and then she has pressure. I don't understand, man. And the fact that her absorption field literally scales, like as soon as it is out, you can pop it right on again and just use it again. This character is just bullshit. Fuck Jade. Scarlet, she got a slight buff in the patch. She's with that slight buff, she didn't really change much anyways. She's still really good. Beautiful strings, good zoning. She can really steal your life back again. It's just that her character is kind of boring. I've seen some people put her S- or even S. I haven't really seen any reason to put her any higher, but I think she's fine where she is. She's a great character. I think she's pretty good for beginners as well. Devora was at the bottom. Devora was possibly the worst character in the game. And look at where she is right now. A fucking plus. Sonic Fox won a tournament with her, I believe. I'm not so sure. Or at least came second place. Don't quote me on that. I know he came second or first place at some point. This character is scary now. She actually has ridiculous setups, crazy pressure that you have to respect. And she can get damage too if you know what you're doing with her. Her anti-air crushing blow is one of the best crushing blows in the game. That's guaranteed like 40%. It's not hard to do. Her buttons don't whiff as much anymore. And the setup she can get is ridiculous. The crushing blow, when she has the bug on you, and then she just does a forward throw, is godlike. I think that's just amazing, yo. Like, holy shit. And the universal patch with the down ones canceling into jailing into highs definitely aided her a lot. So she's A+. I've actually seen a lot more people use her online too. She's not like everywhere, but she's definitely more very viable, and I think you can definitely do a lot, especially online, since not a lot of people know how to fight against setup characters. People like to press buttons all day in MK11. So if you really want to like she's a scrub killer. Like if you really just want to just run through scrubs and just give people a tricky matchup where they have to learn on the fly, Devora is definitely your character. Now we have Scorpion. That nerf to his teleport was pretty major. I think he was the character that got nerfed pretty heavily during the patch. To be honest, the only reason I'm putting him A+, I still think Scorpion is still really good. Possibly S-, to be honest, because his forward 3 stagger is still godlike. He could play neutral. It's just that so many Scorpion players did not want to play neutral because they knew the teleport was so good and abusable. But now that they nerfed it, there are no Scorpion players to be found. So I don't even know if Scorpion, like all the Scorpion players still try to play him like how he was before. They try to bait you with the teleport. They try to bait you with the spear, and then when you start ducking the spear, they just teleport in, and then when you cancel it, when you like down 1 them or down 2 their teleport, they really don't know what to do, and they just start mashing on forward 3 and mashing on pokes and then spamming grab. I don't know why Scorpion players play this way. You can play neutral with Scorpion instead of just mashing. Stop mashing. But Other than that, I don't even see, like, no one plays Scorpion anymore in Tourney anymore either. So this character is kind of just, you know, people just forgot about him after the nerf. A lot of the same people that played Scorpion are now playing Liu Kang, and it's the same thing with like Jackie. Like a lot of some Jackie players drop Jackie to play Liu Kang. Same thing with Cassie. Same thing with like Sub-Zero, Baraka. So I don't know. A lot of people are just jumping on the Liu Kang bandwagon. And so moving on to A tier. So A tier is still really good characters, really viable. A plus is just a little bit better, but I think like if you're gonna play a character in A tier, you're gonna need to have a secondary, like without a doubt. You need to have at least one character in A plus or above if you want to play this game at a pretty high level. So Johnny got pretty decent buffs last patch. His Nut Punch variation didn't get anything. The Showstopper variation is pretty good. You can get insane combo damage with your Fatal Blow cancel. He can get like 60% damage unbreakable, and I think that's very strong. That's something to talk about, but I don't know. We're not really seeing Johnny players excel like after the patch. Like we see like cool stuff, but we're not seeing them really like take names at tournaments, and we're not really seeing. I still think Johnny is lacking things. I think the fact that, like I said, this game is all about grabs, pokes, mids, and pressure. Johnny has the pressure, but his pressure is kind of false. Like, you can stagger with forward 3, but you can poke after that. The force balls, that pressure only works on certain characters. It still doesn't work on females, so that's a problem. His down 1 jailing into his stand 1, and you can convert into 1-2-4 for 6 frames. That's pretty good, but the fact that he has still so much matchup specific stuff is very annoying, and not having a mid that you could really rely on is kind of a big deal when characters like Jackie, Liu Kang, Jax, and Cassie. I think Cassie is a better version of Johnny. Really think about it, there isn't much of a reason to use Nut Punch Johnny when you can use just Nut Kick Cassie, because they can do the same. They get about the same combo damage for restand, and Cassie's buttons are better, and she has better zoning than him. So that's why I put Johnny A. Shao Kahn, I kind of feel like I should put him a bit higher, to be honest. I think Shao Kahn I think he's fine A. He's still kind of slow. His pressure is pretty godlike, to be honest. You know what? I don't know. I think I could put him at A+. I have him at A right now, but I'm having a little bit of a crisis right now. But I think A is still fine for Shao Kahn. I feel like you have to work very hard for this character still. His damage is, I think he has to spend a lot of resources for damage, and he has to get a lot of the buffs out. I know Video Games Yo, he did like really good at DreamHack Montreal or Celtic Throwdown, one of the tournaments with Shao Kahn. He absolutely whooped a lot of people's ass with Shao Kahn, but I think that's more like a him thing than like a Shao Kahn thing. So, but if we have more people coming out of the woodwork with Shao Kahn, I'd probably move him up to A+, but I think A is still a fair location for him. A is not a bad tier. Frost, big buffs she got. Her back 1, having a great mid that you can rely on to punish and use in neutral. You can actually play neutral with Frost now. Like, that's godlike. That shot her up from B to A. However, I really don't think she belongs any higher than that, because she still has issues. Her back 2 string still has a gap in it. Don't know why. Her back 2 overall still starts up OD slow. Her stand 1 still has some whiffing issues. That ice cannon projectile still doesn't work like a projectile. I guess that's how it's supposed to work. I don't like it. And she's still slow. Frost has actually the slowest walking forward speed and the slowest walking backward speed in the game. She is actually slow. and I feel like she can kind of give up her turn a bit easily. I like the fact that her stand 1 can jail into her stand 2 too. It gives her plus frames, but there's no real reason to put her anything above A at this point. She still has a little bit of issues, to be honest. Oh yeah, her fatal blow is really good. I think her fatal blow is definitely up there with like Jax, Aaron, and Garrus, like one of the best fatal blows in the game. Kung Lao got buffs, but he has to spend so many resources to keep safe, and that's why I think a lot of people play with him crazy. They be just spending a bar after he pokes just to take his turn back and just go for this other stuff. I feel like, honestly, if Kung Lao got buffed, Kung Lao would probably shoot up to A+, maybe S-, because this character does damage. So if he was able to just land his hits more consistently, this character will be damn near like next to like Baraka in damage, because his combos always do like 35, near 40%, and he does a lot of damage. He's a tricky character. The mix-up game that he has off of forward 4 in his throws is pretty insane. Like, he has pretty insane throw game. I think he possibly has the best throw game in the game. Actually, no, that's Garrus. But his throw game is pretty solid. He's a scary character. If he's tricky, if you don't really know how to deal with him, he can just take your life bar and confuse you and get away with a lot of shit. But like I said, he does not have the tools like A+ up there. A lot of his strings are unsafe. A lot of his strings have hitbox issues as well. So that's why I think he belongs in A's. Now Collector, I actually kind of think Collector probably belongs in A+, but it's just off of a few things I just have not seen with Collector. Like, we have not seen it. Like, I don't run into Collector at all online still. I've ran into like a few of them after the patch, and let me tell you, some of them were putting in the work. He has this meterless launcher now, so he has a lot more combo potential, which gives him a lot more damage, and it gives him even just more options to whether to go for unbreakable damage or full combo launching damage. His crushing blows are good. He has some really good buttons that can stagger. It's just that like the tools are there, but it's like I don't want to put him any higher until I see it. If you look at his moveset and like his stuff, I think he belongs probably A+. I think he possibly belongs in A+, to be honest. But we just haven't seen it. We need to see more of this character before I can really move it up, so I can get a pretty good gauge. But I think Collector is a solid character. I wouldn't be surprised in the next major if we see somebody come out of the woodwork with a Collector and start bodying people, because this character got some pretty heavy buffs. Alright, moving on to B tier. So B and B minus tier, this is like the bottom of the barrel. I think these are like the worst characters in the game. You have to just work your ass off with these characters, in my opinion. And I know I've seen a lot of people talk about Kitana in a specific variation. I just have not seen it yet. But let's begin with Raiden. So Raiden, he got buffs in the last patch, specifically the Raijin variation, but the things that really need to be changed at Raiden have not been changed. There's things like this character, you have to work your ass off with this character, and I respect Raiden players who are able to beat me because they have to work their ass off. Thunder Wave, when people figured out how to punish that consistently now, it's so like, what is that? Thunder Cell or Storm Cell, whatever that move is. When people figured out how to punish Storm Cell consistently, you can't just throw out that move anymore. Secondly, the Raijin variation, still virtually unsafe. I feel like the stuff that Raiden does is very unsafe. There's a string that he does is literally a regular hit conformable string. I think it's his forward 1-2. It's -9. Like, it's not an easy punish to punish a -9 string, but a fact that a regular hit conformable string is punishable, like literally unsafe on block, I think that's crazy. They need to fix that. He's just all about footsies, and he's pretty technical. He's a very technical character. His damage isn't that high, and his mix-up game is not very good. Like, I feel like you would think his mix-up game should work like how Cabal is, where he kind of just knocks you away and does like 10% or 14%. But Raiden's mix-up game is like all or nothing, to be honest. He just doesn't have the tools. His zoning really isn't that good. His teleport is really fast. I think you could do a lot of work at Raiden. You just have to really know, like, you have to know matchups. Like, Raiden is a character where you have to know matchups. You have to master his spacing and his footsies to like make the character work. Kitana too, she has safe as fuck strings. Everything she does is safe on block, but she can't open the opponent up. There's no reason not to block low against her. Her zoning is not good because both of her projectiles are highs. She just kind of has to bait, stagger, and pressure you. I don't know. Like, Kitana players don't even know what to do. Like, anytime I fight a Kitana player, they virtually just do the same thing, and then I'm just sitting there blocking. And then they try to jump, they try to whiff bait me, then they go for a grab, and then I break their jaw by down 2, and then they get frustrated. I don't know. This character, nobody plays this character. I don't think anybody plays this character the right way, or anybody knows how to play her. And whoever is left playing her, they are not using her that effectively. I don't think Kitana is that good. On top of that, her combo damage is like mid-20s for a bar, which is pathetic. Her combo potential is disgusting in this game. Just terrible. I don't know what they did to her. I know what they did to her. They just took away the ability to combo off of the fan when the opponent is inside of the air. But they need to figure it out, this character, because I know there's like big Kitana fans out there, but Kitana freaking sucks in this game. At least they're one of her variations. There's talks about this highborn variation getting like stupid pressure and everything, and like, but I'm hearing that it's boring. Like, you just literally go for the same thing. You go for like a pressure string knockdown and then like grab again. I don't know. Throws are so fucking better in this game, but I don't see it with Kitana, and none of the pros even play her anymore because I don't think the pros even find her fun or even like that good. So now we're on to the bottom 2 of the game. Let me take a sip of my water. Alright, so the bottom 2. So on my list, I have Kano for the worst character in the game. So to be honest, I don't know who's the worst character in the game. Just like Sonya and Garrus, I don't know which one. If you ask me on a different day, a different time, a different weather, I'd probably give you a different answer. But the thing is this, I feel like they're very similar. So Kotal and Kano, the thing with Kotal is that he's more unsafe. Kotal is unsafe. Like, almost everything this man does is unsafe. He has a slow ass mid. His fastest mid is like 20 frames or something. That is ridiculous. It has a tremendous range. It has like it has like long screen range because of his that broadsword is just ridiculous. But he can barely get anything off of it. His punish crushing blow is unsafe, even though it ends with an overhead. The strings he gets off of his back 2, the low, unsafe. You can go for that stupid gimmick for that unblockable, but that shit, you have all day to hit out of that shit. Even if he just staggers it, you can't really stagger him because he's so slow. He's so slow. He's so unsafe. He can't get out the totems. Everything about Kotal Khan is super, super gimmicky. He's a gimmicky character. I will say this though. Kotal Khan is perfect for Combat League, especially if you're going up against someone who does not know how to fight him, because in a 1-2 setting, if you keep hitting your opponent with random shit that they don't know, like that unblockable, and then hitting them with those long range normals and just kicking them away, command grabs, his command grab is amazing. I think Kotal has the best, probably not the best because Jax has the best command grab in the game, but Kotal has like, he can just hit. If people don't know how to deal with command grabs, it's over. He could just pile on the 20% damage, and before you know it, you're dead. Like, Kotal can snowball you, but if you play like a real set and you start learning, Kotal might beat you. Like, let's say if you play like a really long set, like let's say like a set of 50, you might lose the first like 15 times in a row, but guarantee you, if you're a pretty competent enough player, you might win the set with like 30 to like 30 like 30 wins to like 32 wins, 18 losses, cuz Kotal just has a lot of bad matchups. He can't deal with zoning. He's unsafe. He gets punished. The buff to his health really does not matter also. So yeah. And now Kano. So Kano is a little bit safer than Kotal. He's still pretty much unsafe, but the thing with Kano is that he has horrible strings. You don't have a really good go-to string that you can go for. He has a very gimmicky playstyle as well. His playstyle is just hit the opponent with buttons all day and just mash and just, you know, hopefully they get hit by shit and they lose their composure. And he's perfect for the first to 2 setting in Combat League. So I definitely think you can definitely take a lot of wins online with Kano. But in a tournament setting where people lab matchups, where you're playing in a long set, you're not going to get away with too much with Kano after a while, because a lot of things he does is unsafe. His damage isn't that great. His everything about him, his throws are okay, but he doesn't do anything like that well. And Ripper Kano, ever since Nightwolf has entered the game, Nightwolf's second tournament variation, Ancestral Gift, the one with the command grab, that Nightwolf variation has literally made Ripper Kano obsolete. There is absolutely no reason to play Kano because Nightwolf is in the game right now, and that's one of the reasons why I have him so low. Ancestral Kano does everything Ripper Kano does, but better. Better command grab, better hit advantage on command grab, better zoning, better buttons. He even has counter zoning with that teleport. So I don't know why would anyone want to play Ripper Kano. So that's why I have him at the bottom. And that is my tier list, y'all. That is my tier list. So let's go over it again. So S in my opinion are the best characters in the game. You will see these characters in a tournament. You will see them a lot online. You will see them. These are just very consistent characters to win with, and they're very difficult to fight against. S- is like, these are also the best characters in the game, but they're lacking a few things the characters above them do. I would say they're like, if they were to get buffed, they would instantly become OP or S, and I think they don't need any changes whatsoever at all in the current state of the game. Maybe a very, very slight nerf, but to be honest, they don't need any changes. A+, I would say A+ is like the point of balance. Like, you want most of your characters to be A+. It's just solid, good characters with good buttons. They have dirt, but nothing like crazy or ridiculous. It's just solid characters, but good high tier. A+ is, you know, I guess you could say it's the mid tier, but the mid tier in this game is very strong. You could get away with a lot of stuff with these characters. You might need a secondary if you play any of these characters. You possibly might need a secondary to run it for those pesky matchups, and you're gonna have to work a little bit hard against the top tier, but you could definitely do it once you learn the matchup. B is like bottom, I would say like low mid. These characters you need do a lot of work with. You definitely need a secondary if you're gonna play with any of these characters. And then B-, the worst characters in the game, definitely need a buff, but they're still viable because of gimmicks and things that they can get away with. So let me know what you guys think about my tier list. I know for a fact y'all disagree with this, but I know for a fact some of y'all are gonna agree with my tier list. So let me know what you guys think. Do you think I overrated someone? Do you think I underrated someone? Who do you think should move up? Where do you think this character, your main should be? Did I put your main in the right spot? Did I put your main in the wrong spot? Just let me know in the comment section. Just remember, be respectable, be kind, and let's join into the discussion. Let's talk about this. Post-patch MK11, I'm very happy with the state of the game. I can honestly play this version of the game up until like the Terminator comes out. And to be honest, I don't know what they would change in this game, because like I said before, changing the game just for the sake of changing it is kind of bad, because then you just start fucking things up and you fuck with the balance. but changing things to shed things up, but changing things, just not changing anything just because it's good and it's the way it is, people are gonna get bored and it's gonna get stale. So I don't know. NRS is in a tough spot. They've really outdone themselves with the MK11, and I guess like DLC is really gonna only change things up. But I know a lot of people are gonna come for my boy Liu Kang. He's not my boy. Fuck that character. But yeah, he's not the best, but he's still damn good. So let me know what you guys think. Thank you guys for watching. Stay real. Remember, join the discussion about the tier list. Thank you guys. Peace.